Guys, and welcome to the STPL Season 2 Christmas Cup. This is the second of the Christmas Cups I've done. This one's a little bit different in format compared to last year. Last year, essentially, we had, I believe last year was like a tournament format, but this time it's going to be a Winners League show match between NetWars and aSh. We're going to be starting with the wonderful Mr. Zero from, of course, the Bombastic Star League, and we are also going to be having aSh's Dreamer. Now I'm just trying to fix my green screen a little bit there. Just to go through the maps we're going to be having a look at. Obviously I don't want to keep the... I think we are going to be... wait, yeah, we'll have a little bit more time later. I don't want to keep the players waiting, is what I meant to say. But let's have a look at today's maps. Looks like I didn't fully fix everything, but we're fine. We're on out of time today. But our starting line is going to be Avalon. That's a 4-player map. We're going to have our first hairpin be Battle Royale. Our first corner is going to be Whiteout. Second hairpin is going to be Gorky Island. Final corner is going to be Hitchhiker. The final hairpin will be on El Nino. And the finish line will be on Tau Cross. Of course, the finish line will be the ace match if we do get to it. It's obviously... probably a weird map pool, but I was going for fully Ice World maps, so if there's a lot of these maps you haven't seen before, I understand why, and it's fine. They should lead some really fun games. It is going to be Winners League format. The way Winners League works, if you don't know, is essentially you do King of the Hill. So if Mr. Zero wins game number 1, we'll be heading into game number 2 with him staying on the hill, as it were, and aSh will have to send a different player, whereas if a Dreamer wins, Zero will step out and they will swap around. As so, if you saw the Captain's Clash recently, you may have seen that format, but it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've been waiting for this for a while. Unfortunately, I was a little bit iller than I planned to be the last month or so I didn't get everything prepared the way I wanted to, but hopefully you'll enjoy how it all looks as we get through it. But let's have a look at our first driver for today. It's going to be Dreamer fighting for aSh. Now, Dreamer's best map was on Neo Ground Zero. His longest win streak is actually 3, so not too bad. And overall, he is about 50% win ratio, 9 wins, 10 losses. Not too bad whatsoever, and he's not doing too badly against Zerg either. Now his opponent going to be the one, the only Bombastic Star League's Mr. Zero. Mr. David, is it David? I think his name is in real life. I'm not too sure, but he's doing pretty well as well. Around a 50% win rate for him too. His race stats are looking a little bit better, and his best map was actually Sinchapung Ryung. He was doing pretty well on that map back in the day. Oh, back in the day? What am I talking about? Back in Season 1. I guess that was so long ago at this point, but... should be a lot of fun. His longest win streak is 3 as well. So, at least in terms of STPL statistics, these two players should be very close. Now, let's have a look at the map, as a lot of you may not have seen Avalon before. Now, this map was actually one of the newer maps in Brood War. It was made for the 2015 Hungry Apps Star League. Or Stars League, it was called, with Kongdu. It's a 4-player map. It's not an island map, but there is a backdoor expansion you can expand to. It is, of course, an Ice World map, so it is nice and Christmas themed. We've not had a single game on this in STPL, but hopefully we may see this map in future again, because it is a lot of fun to play on, a lot of fun to watch. And I think we should definitely get into the game. Just going to say, you guys ready? Because it's been a while since I've casted a live game, so... let's head over to the game screen and let's get started with game number 1. It's Dreamer versus Zero in this Winners League NetWars versus aSh show match. Okay, starting us off down here in the bottom right-hand position in the green, fighting for aSh. It's the one, the only. It's the Russian Dreamer. And starting us off in the top left-hand position, we do have the one, the only, Mr. Bombastic himself, hoping that Santa comes down his chimney in the red up here in the top left. It's Zero. Now, this is going to be weird because I've got so used to casting from replays that casting a live game is very, very odd for me. And I still haven't got all the overlay right for this, so there may be a few things that could go a little bit skew-whiff, but please forgive me if that happens. It is Christmas, so in the spirit of Christmas, please be kind. Now, the way this map works is you do have a forward expansion, which Dreamer is going to take with a wall off here. Now, I know that aSh downloaded all the maps last week when I essentially introduced them, and they've been practicing on them. Now, there is a backdoor expansion here. You can see it's only mineral only, so you don't have to worry about a Zerg player getting a very, very quick third gas or anything. But you can get a really free mineral only. There is a way through to it, but you have to mine out these minerals, which is... it takes a while to do, so it's unlikely we'll see either player really going for that. Now, Zero is going to be going for a pool on 12 here, so playing... believe this was an overpull. Yeah, so it was an overpull from him. I'm going to expand behind this. Not the most aggressive opening, not really the most defensive either. It's kind of like the middle of the road, with nothing too much to worry about. Now, if you are tuning in to this for the first time, this is a special edition of the STPL. The winner is going to get $30 like the winning team gets $30. I would have put up a Metrino page, but unfortunately I ran out of time. But if you do want to add to the prize pool, any money that gets donated to the Streamlabs link below during this will go to the prize pool of the winning team, as well as if we get enough, we'll split it so both teams get something. But that'll be kind of cool. Now, Dreamer is hiding a probe up here. He did lose one of his probes to the drones, which means he is a little bit in the dark, but he has that probe to go in a little bit later on to scout. We've got double cannon coming up because the only thing he really saw was the fact that the spawning pool was already done and the hatchery was going to be on its way. Now, Winners League format can be interesting because essentially the way it works, due to the King of the Hill best of one format, if a team is worried about a certain player, if they prepare properly and they essentially just cheese over and over and over again in practice, they can come out with some really interesting cheeses. Now, I don't think we're going to see that in this matchup. Well, obviously we won't see it here, but there is still the chance of Zero going for some kind of Hydra Burst. And is Dreamer going to be prepared for that, because this isn't the easiest map to play if you've not played it too much before. I know Dreamer has in fact practiced. I'm not too sure about Mr. Zero, because Mr. Zero doesn't get too much time to play as of recently, because he spends a lot of time organizing, much like I do. He spends a lot of time streaming, much like I do as well. And he's, well, unlike me, he's also got a family to worry about as well. So that's that's the fun part. It is Christmas as well, so... Now, Dreamer trying to glitch his probe through this. It's not the easiest thing to glitch through, but he has done it. This is going to allow him to go in for that backdoor scout, and this will allow him to see the third base, which is a super, super important moment. And you can actually cannon rush the natural from here. It's not great. Oh, he's going to proxy. What is he going to proxy up here? This is very cool. This is definitely the sign that Dreamer has definitely played this map before, because it's not often you would see a player do this, at least blindly. He has to know he's able to do that. He has to know that Zero is likely not going to have an Overlord back there. And let's see what he's going to do. Once again, it is kind of weird that I'm casting from live. I've been casting from replays for so long. It's kind of odd seeing the overlay in a different place. Now, what are we going to get? Is this going to be a robo? Oh, he's proxying gateways. Is this going to be proxy DT? Yeah, it is. Going to be proxy DT from behind Zero's base. Oh, that's not going to be good. And is Zero going to have an overlord up here? I mean, Zero is probably thinking this base is pretty watertight. So he's not going to have, well, pretty airtight, sorry. I guess watertight works as well. So he's not going to be thinking there's going to be a DT coming from behind him. And that could be devastating here. And SC Cooperativa, I am from the UK. Born and raised in England. I'm not exactly proud to be from here. But I do live here, so... Now, Zero I thought was going for some crazy scout just then, but he was just sending a drone up, so... Could you imagine if he scouted this? That'd be just crazy. Now, the Overlord has come in, and it has seen Templar Archives coming up. Now, he's not seen a Stargate, but this is a very standard build, going for, like, Templar before Stargate. But it's... The fact he doesn't see any additional gateways yet could be a little bit of a tell, but we'll have to see. Obviously, that first DT is going to be on the way soon. And Radley, for the benefit of anyone watching on YouTube, is saying Russian tactics borrowed from Peru. Now, it is only a single DT going to be coming out of this gateway, so it's not completely game ending. But if we have a look, Zero doesn't have any Overlords in his main or his third base. Okay, there is one. It's running away from his third base now. It's going to be flying over his main. But this DT is going to be able to do a lot of damage. The DT is about to spawn. You saw Dreamer's vision over there just a second ago. He's getting ready to go and attack. Now, Zero doesn't realistically know what's going on. Now, let's have a look at this DT. We don't want to miss how many kills it's going to get. Does the Overlord see it? No, it doesn't. There is some Hydras, but the Hydras aren't going to do it. He sees it now. The drones have been pulled. Can he get up this ramp? Can he? Oh, he's killing the lava. That's a very, very good choice. Given the fact it is one hit, the Hydras on the ramp not going to be able to do too much, but two Hydras shouldn't be able to kill a DT. I think the oh, I guess they did get the drop. Oh, sniping the lava again. Really, really nicely done. Oh, and here comes the second DT in the front. It's not going to be able to do too much, but it is going to remove Zero's vision away from the top left-hand base. Now, there is a lot more units over here now, so Zero is doing a pretty good job. He's going to be able to go down and kill the gateway, but no, he's got no Overlord here. That was a very risky play to try and send all of his units down, but luckily enough for him, he has managed to fight his way back to an Overlord. Now, the DTs have cleared up most of the units, so they're going to be able to go back on these drones. And this is certainly not looking too good for Mr. Zero here. Looks like the Lings have been pulled back from the front. The drones trying to block at the ramp. More and more Hydras are going to come up. So he is going to be able to defend against this. He's not lost too much. But it is still not really a position you want to be in now. There is another DT here. There is, of course, an Overlord finally over this gateway. But there is going to be a probe trying to break his way through. Now, this is an interesting choice. Maybe he's going to wait until all of this has been killed and then go for a backstab, but I don't think Zero is going to fall for the same thing twice. He's got Overlords in the right positions, and this is pretty good. I mean, Dream is doing really well so far. His macro is slipping a little bit on the minerals, but he's been spending a lot of his APM trying to break through. Now, this DT, I know DTs do a lot of damage, but you'll see how long it's going to take to get through here. Now, Zero has been building up a sizable number of Hydras throughout all of this. His drone saturation is pretty good, but he does have an idle drone here in the main, which may not help. And he does need to look at getting a third gas. Now, does Dreamer have the required tools back home to defend this? I think he should do. He's got 3 Templar here. They should have Storm now. No, one of them doesn't. Storm should be researched. But he's adding on 4 additional gateways. There's a good number of cannons here, and he's going to have to make sure he defends against this. Now, Zero pulling away the second he sees those High Templar, wants to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard. Now, Dreamer continuing to be very, very sneaky down here. Oh! Wait, did he run that through the temple? He can't have done, right? Okay, it's a shame because Dreamer doesn't see this. Oh, there we go. Is he going to be able to cancel it? No, he's not. The Hydra is going to come in from behind and kill this extra DT. And that's another little win here for Zero. Did he actually see the... I think he saw the hatchery in the end, right? At least I hope he did. Is the game sound quite quiet? Hold on. How is it now? Is it too loud or is it just right? Hopefully this sounds a little bit better. Yeah, I think I turned the desktop audio down to record something before, and I forgot to turn it back up, so... Now, it's cool to see 64 of you wonderful people here to celebrate Christmas along with the Christmas Cup #2. I am wearing a really cool Christmas jumper, but it doesn't appear properly in the camera, so I'll stand up and show it off because there is part of it that isn't green. Now, Dreamer has got his third base down here in the bottom right-hand side, so he's going to be looking to get a lot more gateways, a lot more zealots with those additional minerals. But oh, nice storm first of all from Dreamer. Oh, nice second storm as well. Zero's Hydra's taking a lot of damage, and that's certainly something that Zero needs to watch out for. Now, this gateway definitely going to be causing problems, so he's going to take that out. And he does need to be careful, because while he has done a good number of damage to Zero's Hydras, he's got a lot more where that came, or that comes from back at home. Now, additional 2 hatcheries coming in for Zero. That puts him up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's up to 8 hatcheries now with double evolution chamber going. No hive just yet, and no queen's nest either. So this is going to be nothing but hydras. Let's check the upgrades. 1-1 hasn't finished just yet for him. +1 I don't believe is finished for our Protoss player. Yes, it has. So he's working on +2. So the upgrades definitely in favor of our Protoss player right now. Does need to be careful not to lose his High Templar though, because they are really the backbone of the army here. Now, we've finally got some lurkers coming in. Nice storm on that first lurker. Very, very important to get that. Now, a zealot can run in and kill that, but I don't believe he's got an observatory yet. Ah, yeah, he does. So he just needs to get that first observer out the front. That'll allow him to clear out those lurkers. Now, Zero, his third base, starting to get saturated. He's not taking his third gas just yet. Is there a queen's nest on the way just yet? Nope, still no queen's nest either. Now, there is still a probe up here that Dreamer could maybe hide a base with, but I think he's more just scouting around. Now, here we go. The observer is at the front. He does need to be careful. Looks like there is an overlord here, and if he does lose the observers, this is not going to be a good position to be in. Now, the first observer gets sniped, so Dreamer is going to have to fall back here, and a lot of the zealots have actually gone down. Zero is really doing well in this engagement. There's tons of dragoons left. There is another couple of storms, so that is a bonus. Both players trading pretty effectively here, and there is another observer out the front, so these lurkers should be able to be cleaned up, but he does need to be careful. The macro of 8 hatcheries coming out from Zero means there is going to be a ton of units coming down. Nice pullback on that observer, keeping it alive at the back of the army, but is there just too much Zerg here? It looks like Dreamer's army, despite having +2 attack, is really struggling against the 0-0 army here of Zero without any additional zealots. He needs to pull back. He needs to regroup. Finally, the overlord at the front is going to be taken down. But if he plays too aggressive here, I mean, look at Zero's reinforcements. They're swarming across the map right now, and there's not a single storm up here. So a lot of these units, they're stuck out in the middle of the map, and they are going to be toast here. But let's see what he can do.
Great map.
Oh, thanks for the donation, Weaponized Funk. $15, man. Thank you so much. And Avalon is a really cool map. I do love it. It leads some really dynamic games. But here we go. Looks like we are going to have Dreamer pushing forward once again. Maybe being a little bit too aggressive here. There is one storm left, and no offense, but that is not enough storm to deal with that many hydras. And Dreamer needs to be careful, because the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be for him to expand. Now, Zero does have his 4th base. I can see Dreamer is taking the 6 o'clock base there, which is not going to be the easiest to take. But I don't believe Zero has seen this yet. No, it's just out of vision, so he doesn't know about it. But the second he finds out, he's going to be able to go and kill that. Both players tied up in supply. The upgrade advantage definitely going to Dreamer here, which is definitely helping in these fights. There's still no Queen's Nest, I don't believe, so still no Hive. It's going to be nothing but mass Hydra here from Zero, playing a little bit like Effort does when he plays EVP. But let's see if it's going to work out for him as well as it does for Effort. There isn't that many units here for Dreamer still. I feel like Dreamer is playing a little bit too overzealous with his units. He's not... I don't think he's getting all of his zealots in his control groups either, so he needs to pull back, regroup. Looks like, oh my god, look at how many cannons are coming up over here now. He wants to hold on to this base. It's very, very important he can get it. If he can add a gateway there, start to add on High Templar. This is, of course, one of the other naturals, so he's going to be able to secure the other main. Now, Zero looks like he could be trying to take a hidden base down here in the bottom right, but not quite just yet. These Hydras still only on 1-0, one being armor at the moment. The double evolution chamber not really kicking in. Queen's Nest is done. Both the players' gases very, very low right now, so they're both doing a pretty good job macroing off their gas units. But here we are. We're going to have another massive engagement here in the middle of the map, but there's just no High Templar. Where is the high-tech units? Gateway units alone are not going to win you the game as Dreamer. You need Templar, you need Storm, and you need to eventually head into Reavers. Because Zealots, I mean, there we go. We've finally got them coming in, but they're way away from Storm. He doesn't have Kadarian Amulet, so they don't start with additional energy, and they don't have plus energy either. And yes, it's just Hydras, but the second the Lurker count increases, like it just has, this is going to get harder and harder. Now Zero, he saw the probes transferring, so he is going to be able to go and clean up this base, but is he going to be able to get through all these cannons? I'm not so sure. Hydras are good, but are they that good? And while this is going on, look at this. Dreamer going to come behind, try and isolate some of these units. He's going to try and trap him between the cannons and his base, but I just don't think it's going to work. Look, all the Lurkers managed to burrow, and that's a dead base for Zero. Nicely done. Now, what's Dreamer's plan from here? How is he going to expand? Looks like he wants to try and go up to the top right, but I believe this is unbuildable, so he's not going to be able to go through here. Now, we do have 3 storms available, so if he can get good engagements here in the middle of the map, it is very open, but if he gets the good storms, then that's certainly a good start, and so is that. And oh, the storm kind of missing a lot of the Lurkers there, but still relatively good. Now, if he keeps the High Templar alive a little bit longer, he can definitely continue to push forward. We've got more and more reinforcements coming in from both players. Zero just has so many hatcheries right now, though, and that's really starting to make Dreamer struggle, because he just can't keep up with the production of the Zerg here. But his units, he's got 2-2 now. 3-2 should be done very, very soon. And I mean, with only 2-0, Zero's units aren't that powerful, but look at this, there's just no Storm, there's no Archons, and the Hydrige is just slowly starting to overpower this army from Dreamer. The Overlord's certainly not helping either. The Archon, unfortunately, unable to do anything in this engagement. He's reinforcing with pretty much nothing but Dragoons. I don't know if he thinks there's just a ton of additional Lurkers over here, but this is definitely hard. Zero going to be taking an additional 2 bases, the 12 o'clock and the 1 o'clock base going to our Zerg player here. And Dreamer just unable to expand anywhere. I think he's mined out his main now and almost mined out his natural. Zero has done a fantastic job this game of just macroing up so many units. Like, he's ahead in supply of the Protoss player, and that is not a position as a Protoss player you want to be in. If you're behind in supply against Zerg, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And most of Dreamer's supply is just Dragoons, and that's not what you need right now. It looks like Zero may have just overpowered him, and it looks like he's going to be taking game number 1, but obviously it's not over until the Fat Lady sings, and or maybe Frank Sinatra sings or something, because we're going Christmassy here. But like, man, this is difficult for Dreamer. He's going to find himself trapped on his 3 bases. He can look to expand to this base. It is relatively easy for him to defend, but it is still so far away from where all of his units are, and he just hasn't, off of his gateways, been able to build enough High Templar, enough tech units, or even switch into Reavers to really deal with the army that Zero has. Okay, so it looks like Dreamer is going to finally try to expand up to this 3rd base. This might be possibly the easiest location for him to defend. He didn't break through the back, but look at this, Zero getting ready to go attack it already. And the more bases that keep getting denied by Dreamer, the harder it's going to be. The natural is almost going to be mined out. Nice storms there, but look at the adrenalines coming in here, making it so difficult for these Dragoons to live. Even the highly upgraded Zealots are going to start struggling soon. It is still 0-2. The melee upgrades, I think, high. Yeah, it's 2-2 for the melee. And cracklings are really going to be what brings the game home here for Zero, I think. I don't know if he's going for an Ultralisk Cavern. Let's have a quick look. He does have his Hive. Does he have any Defiler Mound yet? No, he doesn't. The lack of Defiler Mound is actually quite puzzling, given how Dragoon heavy Dreamer's army's been. He's not going for Swarm. He just went up for the additional upgrades and the Adrenaline. So the natural base is almost mined out over here. Less than 100 minerals at that base now. The third base should be getting quite low. And look at Zero coming in from behind here. Going to break down the temples. But unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get over the mineral field. So he is going to have to send a drone down there. Dreamer still fighting valiantly, though, in the middle of the map. And this could very well be GG, but if Dreamer can get a big enough army, he still has a chance. But look at the amount of Zerg units coming in from pretty much every single angle here. Dreamer's forced to pull back, and unfortunately I just don't think he has enough, and it looks like Mr. Zero is going to be running away with game number 1. It's been an awesome 20-minute macro game, constant fighting in the middle of the map from both players, but it looks like Zero, with his mass hatchery style, mass hydra style, has done it. GG! Zero takes game number 1. So that was a pretty sick game number 1 there. Certainly the sort of game I wanted to see on Avalon, because it is a really cool macro map. I know it's not the most common map, but hopefully we'll get to see more of it in the future as well, because it is a really, really fun map to play. Now, it's going to be up to aSh here to pick their next player, so I'll let them do that in the chat, and then we'll go into game number 2. But essentially, where it is a Winners League format, Sin 01, he's going to stay on, and aSh will pick their second player. As soon as I've got that confirmed, we can have a look at that. But 1 second. I'm just going to throw it up to a very quick break, and I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes when we know who the second player is. And we've got the game posted. Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. Okay, now starting in the top right hand position, we do have fighting for aSh in the blue. It's Radley. Radley is lifted as his science facility, and you know what that usually means? Covert ops, please?
That's right, you're right. Nuke silo on the way. Where is it? Natural? Yeah, it's at the natural. I actually would have built that back in the main, but obviously he had the scanner up there, so. Oh my gosh, oh my god, 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 oh my god.
This is the sickest.
He's gonna drop in the pizza wedge. Where's the optical flare? Optical flare right now, oh my god! It's fucking blind!
Yeah.
That's so sick.
And look at this.
Unbelievable.
Look at his vision, he can't see.
He can't do anything! Oh, he's got a second observer. Where's the second optical flare? Oh no, that's the same. Oh my god. How good is optical flare?
There we go, nuke's coming in. It lands.
And boom
Kaboom!
goes the dynamite. Hell yeah.
Okay guys, we are back. I now know who aSh are going to be sending out. We will get them in the game in just a second. I think he's just gone to check the map. Now, Jesse was correct. It is going to be Squall, so we're going to have some ZVZ action on Battle Royale. If you didn't think that was going to happen, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm going to link Battle Royale on the TLPD, and you'll see why. It's it's a Zerg map for sure. It's probably the best Zerg map ever made. And just to give you an example of a statistic from the Pro League days, so there was Central Plains, which was a Protoss map. So before I link this, just while
doesn't take a telepath to know what you're thinking.
Oh, thanks, Matt, for the gifted sub there. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, so guess how many ZVZs were played on Battle Royale? Oh my goodness. It's kind of funny. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you. I'm cheating. It's 71. There was 71 CVCs on this map. An absolute Christmas cracker of a map here. Let's actually quickly go in to introduce both of our players. Well, in fact, we won't need to introduce Mr. Zero, as we just did that. But Squall here, from Spain, is going to be aSh's next runner. He's going to try and take out a ZVZ. He's going to try and take a ZVZ off of Mr. Zero here. Against Zerg, he's 1-0 up. He's not played too many games, but he is more famously known for being a member of the Templar of Twilight back in the day. Now, our map is going to be the one, the only Battle Royale. And Zeldaran, that is the initial D game only on arcade machines. But there is a wonderful thing that exists, which I'm not going to go into because I'm not sure the legality of it. But yeah, so Battle Royale, really fun. The mains are unbelievably close together. It's flat the whole way through the map, I think. Unless, wait, is the bottom left and top right? I can't remember. I think that may be high ground, but no, it is just completely flat. So, oh no, it is cliffs.
Keep it up, bud.
Thanks, Eldoran man, for the 4 months. Thank you so much. But yeah, Battle Royale should be a lot of fun. And let's get into game. Oh, 1 second. Let me just check they're both ready. We're gonna. I keep forgetting I'm not on. I keep forgetting we're not on. What do you call it? Replays. Oh my goodness. You'd think I'd been out drinking today, but I just overate. I went out for Christmas dinner. Okay, we're gonna get into the game. It's game number 2. It's Zero versus Squall here on Battle Royale. Now, during the next break, I'm going to have to fix that setbox image, but that's all well and good. Starting us off here, once again, in the red, fighting for NetWars from Poland. It's the one, the only Mr. Bombastic, it's Zero. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand position, we do have in the navy blue, fighting for aSh from Spain, it's Squall. Now, just to zoom out and show you this map, look how close the mains are. Look at it. There's such a short brush distance, and there's actually a base in between them both with double gases as well. It's essentially impossible for anyone to expand there ever. Now, it does have Troy style assimilators, so you can lock your opponent in their main. There is a pathway around the edge of the map. Now, unfortunately, because it's not a replay, I can't reveal the entire map here. But essentially, I could just zoom out and not bother observing, because you could see everything. But I will bother to observe because that's my thing. Now, of course, we're coming up to Christmas, guys. We are only, is it 4 days away now, which is crazy. Christmas probably isn't going to be my favorite time of the year this year just because of what happened last year, but I'm going to look to enjoy it, and this is certainly one thing I've been looking forward to for a while. Now, Winners League is something I've had a massive interest in for many years, and hopefully this is going to be the first of many Winners League style show matches between our teams. When I picked the teams for this one, aSh and NetWars, I knew globally they were quite close to each other, and honestly their current rosters are very similar in skill level, and I thought this would certainly be the right people to show an absolute banger of a Christmas show match here. And the first game was certainly testament to that. Zero and Dreamer did a very good job. Now, interestingly, both of them looking to expand very quickly off of the back of Gas and Pool. I wasn't hospitalized. My mum died in January last year, so she was hospitalized over Christmas, and it wasn't great. And we didn't expect what happened to happen, but essentially she was getting better. It looked like she was going to be home, but she didn't make it home in time for Christmas, and then everything went downhill at the start of January, and she got much worse, and she passed away on the 14th of January last year. So it's not the best time of the year for me right now. I went out to a family Christmas dinner, a pub today, and honestly it wasn't the best day of my life, but I've got to try and enjoy Christmas because it's what my mom would have wanted. But yeah, it's one of those things. It happens, it's part of life, and it's just how you deal with it is the way it is. And I like how Mindflayer was like, he would have told us about it, and I just did. So there we go. Yeah, the other thing is this December I've been ill. Well, I've not been like super ill or anything, but I've had like the flu, and it lasted about 3 weeks. So Zero did try and come in with a couple of lings. I don't think he managed to kill a drone even, but I'm certainly missing the work account from replays right now. Now, both players are going in to layer off of 2 hatcheries, very common in TVZ. We don't have the progress bars, but I believe Zero's lair was a little bit quicker, but Zero has in fact been building a few additional lings. But I wonder if we'll see these assimilators coming into play, because if Zero decides to lock his opponent in, I mean, to be honest, in TVZ, I don't think that really helps. If you lock your opponent in, it's probably better, because then they don't have to worry about a ground counterattack. But looks like Squall getting pretty ready for this. Now, Squall, if you don't know who he is a very old school player. He has been playing since the dawn of time, I believe, along with Ariador. He did take a break for a while, but he's back again now. Squall feels like he has enough to push forward, so he's going to move out. There was a single ling, a double set of lings actually that got into the main here. No drones have been lost actually. And Squall is getting ready to put the heart on his opponent, but does need to be careful because speed finishes. While he hasn't got speed, it's going to be very difficult. Now, Spire is on the way here for Zero. Squall is going for Spire as well, but he has added a ton of Zerglings right now, and he is going to look to try and do a little bit of damage. Now, did Zero forget, or not forget, but did he forgo speed here? He does have a lot more gas than his opponent does, and it doesn't look like his lings are moving very fast, so... Oh, Squall, wait. I don't feel like this is worth it, right? Because Squall has just spent so much lava on lings that if he blocks himself out of his opponent's base, I think that benefits Zero. Although Zero has spent a lot of lava on lings as well, so if... Oh, Zero's going to break his way out the right-hand side. Okay, this is really clever. There is a way out of your main if you get blocked in by the assimilator, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But he is going to be able to block this off. Now, you can break back in here, and you can also break back in over here. So we'll have to see if that comes into play. The first Muteless should be hatching very shortly for both players. There we go, Zero's Muteless just hatching right now. And we will see the same for Squall in just a second. Looks like Squall is going to go for 6 Mutas here. He could go for some Scourge as well. But he does need to be careful though. But a lot of Zero's lings are kind of useless now, and so are Squall's. But there is a couple of Scourge coming out initially here for Squall with 3 Muteless, so it is going to be a mix for him. Now, if you can get these Scourge to connect, it can be very good. But it's definitely hard to win a Muta versus Muta fight without the additional Mutelisks, because Muta the Mutant Micro is like really difficult anyway, but it's also very difficult to actually get Scourge to hit Mutalisks if the micro is good from the other player. Now, looks like Zero is going to move around the whole way around the edge of the map. Looks like we are going to see both players lose an Overlord. That's actually going to supply block Zero, which is definitely a good position for Squall to be in. But Squall needs to be careful. If he does not see Zero going around the edge of the map here with these links, he could get caught off guard at his natural because he doesn't have any vision over this building. So, oh no, Zero's going to lose another Overlord. This is massive damage coming in from Squall. Where is Zero's Mutalisk? Here we go. We have 7 Mutalisks against 5. A couple of Scourge actually connecting here for Zero. I mean, obviously this all does still come down to the Mutant Micro, and it looks like it's doing pretty well for Zero here. But Squall definitely doing a good job as well. Squall started playing, remember, before Mutalisk Micro was even a thing. So, looks like Zero is going to pull the Mutalisk as far away as possible while he gets ready to break through here. Squall does not see this coming. There is a lot of Lings back in defense, but the supply block still for Zero. He's going to get even further supply blocked. Squall is doing an amazing job in this CBZ. As long as he doesn't die to this Ling counterattack, he should be in a very good position. While there's a little bit of a lull, there's no drones at the natural other than on the gas. In the main, the drone saturation is pretty good. Looks like Zero has an additional 1 drone, I think it is. He's not actually fully saturated in his main, though. He's not mining off of this this mineral, so I would give... Oh, he's even losing drones now as well. Squall coming in at the perfect opportunity, killing 4 drones. And Zero's not been able to build Mutalisk for so long. Squall's Mutalisk count is massive right now. And he's just going to pick off all of the gas drones here. And he could continue to go for Overlords. That would not be a bad play here. Oh, but lots of Scourge just coming out. But there's just not enough of them. And I think Zero may have been overpowered here. Squall summoning the power of Christmas. He got a little nice presents under his tree there in Zero's Overlords. And Zero doesn't have enough. GG. Squall ties up the series 1-1. And NetWars are going to have to decide on their next player. What a really, really sick game. I absolutely adore games like that in ZVZ. It looked like Zero was doing a really good job. Squall made a few decisions where I was like, sorry, Squall just asked me something. Essentially, like, how have I forgotten what I'm saying? I've literally not drunk any alcohol today, and I've just completely forgotten everything. Oh well. Essentially, the next map we're going to be going into is going to be... Wait, I've even forgotten that. Wait, it goes... something then Gorky Island. I believe it is Whiteout, so it's going to be Whiteout. The most standard of the maps, I would say. Obviously, Whiteout in Season 2 of STPL, so... Looks like NetWars' second player is going to be Yeti, and thank you, Hyun. I don't know why you would say I'm handsome, but I'm glad you feel that way. Let me just... I wonder if I can show off my jumper. It's like a... Hold on, it's like a... I can't do it. I'll stand up at some point. It's like a Pokemon one. Oh well. Let's host up the next game. I will quickly go to a couple of minute break while they get ready for the map, and I'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibidi on do do. Skibidi on do do. Skibidi on do do. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Be-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Coast 103.5.
Did you know it was possible to drop behind the naturals in Fighting Spirit. It's a bit finicky to land in the right place. You essentially need to... There's very specific spots in each of the spawns, which I'm going to try and show you here.
Hang on, we're in for some chop. I copy that.
There we go, there's one. So I believe there's actually more spots than this, but essentially it's quite hard to do. So you've got one here. I found two over here. There's also one here as well. You can also drop, I think, in this location. One thing to point out is the ghost cannot actually move. But of course what it does give you the option of doing is it allows you to nuke. Okay, it's time for a quick tip. Here we have Neo Outlier. I'm going to show you how to get over these temples with a probe. I'll also do it with an SCV and a drone as well. So what you do is you essentially send the probe up to mine, you press stop, and you go to build a pylon. Now you build the pylon underneath you, so essentially it's going to push you, then you spam right click, and all of a sudden you are through. And here is the same trick with Terran. There's a couple of ways you can do this. One of them is you build a depot, and you essentially cancel building, and you just spam yourself through. You have to be kind of stuck or either on the building in the temple or there. But you can cancel that, and just to show, you can do it both ways as well. Okay, now there's a way you can do this with just 2 workers, which is the only way Zerg are able to do this. You can also do this with Protoss and Terran as well. So essentially, you get both workers lined up here. You mine with 1 worker. You send the second worker to mine just behind it, and you hit stop. It can be a little bit finicky, so don't worry if you don't get it first try. We got it. No we didn't. Yes we did. Okay, so that didn't go perfectly. You can do it a lot better than that, but it does take a little bit of practice. So just keep trying, and you will eventually get it. And you'll find it actually has quite a lot of uses in various different maps. Here we are on Multiverse. I'm muted. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for some more STPL Christmas Cup number 2 action. We're going to be heading into a PvZ this time, and it's going to be between Squall, who beat Zero in the previous match, and the one and the only Yeti. Let's introduce our players. We introduced Squall just before, so we're going to introduce his opponent here. Yeti has been one of like the really strong points of NetWars across the entire STPL. In terms of rank, I can't remember where he actually sits on the ranking, but let me just see if I can bring that up. Yeti is actually rank 13 overall. Squall is rank 69. I need to add that to this menu. Oh my god, Radley. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to introduce Yeti. Yeti is one of the bosses of NetWars. He's won. His win ratio is 2.0, so he's won 24 games, lost 12. He's currently 7 for 2 against Zerg, so Squall is definitely going to have a tough opponent here as we head into our... What map are we going into? We're going into the 3rd map, which is going to be Whiteout. Now, Whiteout, it's certainly one... We'll bring it up here. But Whiteout, anyone watching here, if you've seen any of STPL Season 2, you would have seen a lot this map. It's one of the more recent maps in Brood War in general. Obviously, it's been used in many situations in the Afrika Star League Season 7. We've had some great games on in STPL. And I'm looking forward to being able to show you guys it here as well. Now, unfortunately, this overlay isn't as fleshed out as my normal one, but by the time this is finished, it's going to look much, much better and much cooler. So hopefully you guys enjoy the initial STPL overlay as much as I've enjoyed making it so far, but I want to make it better. And obviously we've got the main overlay for the main event as well. So let's get into game. Oh, let me just check they're both ready. Oh, Squall apparently lives in Milton Keynes. That's kind of cool. That's not too far away. Okay, they're both ready, so let's get into game number 3. It's Yeti versus Squall. Okay, starting us off here in the top right-hand position, in the blue, the reigning leader in this series so far. Well, not so far currently. He took the series 1-1. This is going to be his chance to make it 2-1. It's aSh's Squall. And his opponent spawning up here in the top left-hand position. We do have the red Protoss player fighting for NetWars from Poland. It's the one, the only, it's Yeti. Also, Radley, there's only 2 cars that I'm using. One is the Subaru Impreza, and the other one is, of course, the wonderful, wonderful Toyota AE86 Trueno from Initial D. So now, what styles are we going to see from both of our players here? Squall played pretty straight up in the last game. It was, of course, a ZVZ. Yeti, historically, in the STPL, plays very, very standard. So, looks like we are going to see a Forge coming in from him. And looks like we're probably just going to see a Forge Fast Expand, I would imagine. It is one of the more standard maps in the map pool. These players certainly have more experience on this map than they have done Avalon or Battle Royale. So the fact that Squall said he'd never played Battle Royale before, he played that map out actually perfectly. So I'm really, really impressed by Squall. Now we've got Squall going for a spawning pool. He did want to go for a 12 hatch, but unfortunately that was blocked. I'll just quickly typing out another tweet. This is one thing that would actually help if I had some help with, because thing is, I'm tweeting out a lot more because it's a live event. Usually, if it's replays, I don't worry about it too much. Radley saying in chat that he saw Yeti in a Subaru and he was wondering if I'd mixed up the ranks with cars, but no. Because then rank 1 would always be the AE86. I've recently started reading the follow-up manga to Initial D. It started a couple of years ago. It's called MF Ghost, and it genuinely is really, really good. I've almost caught up with it. I'm up to like volume 5 now of 6. They're currently working on the chapters for 7. But it's really, really cool. Like, it is just Initial D again with different, well, with some of the same characters and some new characters. But the way they're followed on the story is really, really cool. Like, it turns out that Takashi Ryosuke as, like, Project E was so good that essentially he just decided to make his own racing league. It's amazing. MF Ghost is brilliant. Like, if you haven't been reading it and you like Initial D, I would highly recommend it. The third base does look like maybe it's a pixel too high, or at least a couple of hexes too high, actually. But its diagonals are so strange that it's hard to tell. It definitely does look high, though. Maybe he was just lining it up with the minerals. But it's not terrible. You can just put an additional drone on there, but definitely strange. Good spot. Kebez in chat, man. Now, Lair coming in for Squall. Yeti is going for his Nexus. He went Forge. cannon nexus, going into a second cannon now, has his gateway as well, and should be able to hold on against these lings, but does need to be careful, and good usage of the probes there to block. Certainly a good position to be in. And yeah, Radley is correct as well. Usually you would put 2 hatcheries there, but I don't feel like a second hatch will fit in that gap, so maybe he plans to build it like over, or maybe like over here or something, so you can get more, because I believe like mining gas from below your hatchery isn't the most efficient. I think it's top and side, so maybe that's his plan. Like, Squall's been playing forever, so I get the feeling he's got a plan here. I mean, obviously, the thing with Winners League, which is so exciting to me, is where the players don't know they're going to be playing on a certain map unless it's planned ahead of time. Like, say for example, Squall gets picked to do Battle Royale because he's great at ZVZ. There's no guarantee he's going to win that map, so he's not necessarily going to prepare for Whiteout as well. But if he does, then obviously that gives him a better chance to win more of the series. Now, a single drone did go down, so nicely done by Yeti there, but not doing too much damage to his opponent with that initial Zealot harass. But of course he didn't open gateway first, so he wasn't necessarily expected to do any damage. Now, Stargate is done, Citadel is on the way, and I mean, Squall yet again is just building quite a lot of lings. Now, they don't have speed this time, at the very least, but is this going to be a muteless opening, or is he going to add on an additional couple of hatcheries? Now, there's no additional geyser. Ah, there we go. So the next hatchery is coming in. This gas is definitely off place then. Well, this hatchery is, I guess. God, apparently Squall is quite good at, well, he's quite good at going to sleep. I mean, that is possible, and that's one thing I'm definitely not good at. I'm awful at going to sleep, but as it's Christmas, get a nice hot chocolate, some nice whipped cream. I need to buy some tomorrow at the supermarket, and like, just go to bed with some hot cocoa, essentially. Now, have you guys in chat, have you guys got any like major plans for Christmas? Are you doing anything cool? Going anywhere? Or are you just going to chill at home or chill with your family or something? I'm going to my dad's house for Christmas, so that should be a lot of fun. As I said before, it may be a little bit... Oh, getting that Corsair is an amazing pick off there by Squall. And it looks like he could get the second one as well. Yeti doing a really good job trying to keep this alive. But if he loses both of those Corsairs, that makes a possible muteless switch here very, very powerful. Now, there is an additional hatchery coming on, an evolution chamber, and the Hydra Den. So I don't believe... Oh, he's actually going to go... Oh, I thought this was the third hatchery. Now, I don't think he's going to go muteless, but getting that kill gives him the option of doing that now. It's just, he doesn't necessarily have the gas to do it. So as long as Yeti continues to build up his Corsairs again, he is back up to 2. I believe he has 3 now. Yeah, he's up to 3. So he is going to be able to deal with any additional Scourge coming out at the very least. Wait, was that a third one? Yeah, it was the third one. I thought I was being crazy. I was like, huh? Yeah, I recently bought some more cider to drink over Christmas, and where I'm ill, I don't really want to drink it. But essentially in England, there's this cider company called Brothers, and they do this cider which is like rhubarb and custard flavored, and they do a toffee apple cider as well, and both of them are very, very nice. Like, I don't necessarily like rhubarb as a fruit, just on its own, but like rhubarb flavored cider is very, very good. Well, rhubarb cider, I guess. It's not flavored cider. It's made out of rhubarb. But the toffee apple cider is also very, very good. Now, let's see if Yeti can do any damage here. We didn't see Dreamer do too much damage with his DT against Zero in game number 1. Game number 2, of course, we didn't see a DT, but this DT is going to be running up against a brick wall of Hydras and Overlords, so I don't think he's necessarily going to want to go in. But you do see the map mechanic of this map. These stones, it's not the trees that vision block, it's the stones. Essentially, they remove all the vision from the units. So unit vision range goes from whatever they had to 1, unless there's if there's like an overlord or a flying unit above them, they can of course shoot. But without that extra vision, they're not able to shoot anything. Beans are not a part of my normal breakfast. If I had a fry up, they would be, but I very rarely eat a fry up, and As much as I hate to admit it, it's because there's so much cleaning involved with a fry-up that I can't be bothered. And also, I never really have time during the week because I have to go to work, so I just eat cereal. And then on the weekend, I just wake up and I just feel like I want to be lazy, so I don't want to put too much effort into anything. And so I don't put too much effort into cooking at all, actually. Like, I do know how to cook, like, more traditional, like, bigger English things. Like, I do a mean roast dinner, but I am just really, realistically too lazy. And also, when you live on your own, it's kind of pointless. Like, oh, that storm is pretty good on those drones, and the Hydras, nicely done by Yeti. Oh, another great storm. Yeti moving in, doing a ton of damage to his Zerg opponent here. Is he going to break through with this few units? What a play here by Yeti. Now, it looks like he is going to get cleaned up. So that is something. The unfortunate Archon here. Oh, it is getting it away, I think. Oh, he's just going to attack with it. Okay, I'm not really sure I agree with that, but not too bad. And Mind Flayer, haggis is a Scottish thing. I've never actually eaten haggis, and I know what it is, and I kind of want to try it, but I kind of don't. I was a very picky eater when I was a kid, so I find it really difficult psychologically to try new things. And haggis is certainly not something I've got a major inclination to eat. But I mean, if like a Scottish person said try this, it's good, then I'd try it. But you can't really get it down here. I'm southeast of England, so I'm like as far away from Scotland as you could possibly be. Now, Squall is breaking back forward. He cancels Yeti's third, which is pretty good. He is down on drones, and he's way down in supply. And Yeti's had some absolutely fantastic storms. But unfortunately, losing two of those to High Templar here. But another great storm. And Yeti, in terms of upgrades, let's have a quick check. He's only on 1-0. Squall, in fact, is 1-0 as well. Let's check his tech back at home. Still on lair. There is only a single evolution chamber right now, so he's not going for the double evo chamber that Zero did. And he does have 1-0, so it's 1-0 versus 1-0. Plus 2 attacks should finish very soon, though, here for Yeti, as long as he's kept up with his upgrades. And here comes an additional third base attempt. Now, if we zoom out a little bit to catch all these Hydras on the screen, the Hydra's really going to struggle against the Zealots in here because they have no range against the melee units. So essentially, it's like being under a Dark Swarm in a weird way, or more likely a Disruption Web where they just can't shoot. And you can already see that Yeti making very, very good usage of this. Gonna kill a ton of Hydras here. And so far, this has been a very, very back and forth Winners League series. Like, obviously in Winners League, like, there's the very, very famous all-kill. And, I mean, we've definitely gone past that. There's not going to be an all-kill here today. And we're not likely going to see a reverse all-kill either, because, well, unless Yeti can be all of aSh, or Squall can be all of NetWars. I mean, that's a point. If Squall does it, he could get a reverse all-kill here. So the dream is alive for him. Yeah, Radley, there was a storm on the drone line, and Squall unfortunately just hasn't rebuilt them. There we go. He's finally starting to get his economy back up. I mean, he's had to build a ton of units because he's lost so many of them. And we do have a fourth base coming up here in the bottom right. It does have a full gas, so it's not too bad. Interestingly, not taking this one. That's a little bit easier to defend, but I guess he'll have the ability to take that a little bit later anyway. Looks like we are going to have Yeti pushing in once again. There is a muteless switch here. He's going to try and get on top of these High Templar, but the Archon doing so much damage. And all of the muteless go down, only killing one of those High Templar. And there is another massive storm on both sides. Now, the High Templar dying is a massive problem. Zooming out a little bit to keep more of the engagement in the battle. Looks like Squall is going to be able to hold on here, but just barely. More muteless coming out, some of them very, very bruised from before. And the Archon going to be able to clean those up very, very quickly. Another storm, though, going down on top of those Hydralisks. But unfortunately, I think the storm has run out, so Yeti is going to have to go back home and try and go in. Okay, so this fourth base is coming up. I don't believe Yeti saw those drones transferring, so he shouldn't necessarily know about them. Let's actually check Yeti's tech now. He is adding on a lot more gateways, so he's up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gateways now for Yeti. Double forge. Templar tech is obviously done. He's got his observatory now as well. Wait, did I see that? Yes, I did. And now Yeti does pretty well with Corsair Reaver. This is a pretty good map for Corsair Reaver, but of course, we're far beyond that. He is going to be dealing with nothing but Templar, nothing but Archons, and nothing but Gateway units for a while, I think. And that's a good choice. Yeti finally securing his third base here. The gas in the middle, I believe, if I remember correctly, is actually lower than a normal gas. So the middle base, certainly not the best. You do need to expand quite quickly afterwards. But the High Templar coming in, not able to get the High Templar yet, I don't believe. I haven't heard a single one die. And just the muteless play here from Squall just isn't really working out. He's up against a really, really well microed Archon. Like, how many kills has this Archon got? 17. Obviously, not all of them are going to be they're not all going to be muteless. And when the Archon merges from the two High Templar, I think it keeps both of their kills. That's still a very effective Archon right there. Now, the Muteless is going to try and go around here. They are going to be able to cancel out this base down in the bottom left. It's a little bit unfortunate for Yeti, but very, very fortunate for Squall. But look at this, a massive storm on those units. A real blizzard hitting home here. Looks like Squall isn't going to be driving home for Christmas at this rate, the way this is going. Yeti with a very, very strong army pushing forward. +2 attack is not done yet. Now it has, just now finishing up. Perfect timing. GG. Squall taps out, and Yeti, with this incredible usage of Storm, takes game number 3. Now, I forgot the replay doesn't end, so I'm just sat there watching, waiting for the replay. I'm waiting for the replay to end, but it's obviously a live game. Now, that's going to take us into game number 4. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, not too long, but Yeti is going to get that win, and he's going to tie the series up. Wait, no, he's going to take the series 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. Okay, so he's going to go 2-1 over aSh. Let's see who aSh are going to send out next. It's going to be something versus Protoss, and we'll have to see how that's going to go when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon. Okay, we have a ton of Matcherino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matcherino link, it brings up the Matcherino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie.次々と広がるパーソナルコンピューターディスクシステムの世界。ブリザードエンターテインメントから新しい冒険を試すことができる RTS ゲームの発売が決定されました。最初は人類から取り寄せしたテラン。バイオニックやメカニックやいろんなユニットでプロトスとサーゴをぶっ潰されます。でも気をつけて同士討ちも可能です。抜群技術力があるプロトス。もし友達がいない場合、プロトスがおすすめます。あなた方の透明人間が卑怯ですが、ぜひ使ってください。そして怪物のザーグ。君の実力はナンバーズ。敵を圧倒してください。ユタリスクコントロールもガンガン使って勝ってください。応援してくださいね。 Okay guys, welcome back. We are here for Game 4 of the STPL Christmas Cup number 2. We've got NetWars currently up 2-1. No player has managed to hold on to the hill just yet. So let's see if our next, or if Yeti can manage to do it. He's going to be up against Hit 'em Up, aka Logan. That should be a lot of fun. He's just quickly going to the bathroom, but we're going to go into a pretty crazy map up next, so I'm looking forward to this one. Now, we are going to go into one of the oldest maps I've ever had in any of my tournaments, and it's well, it depends what you like, but let's introduce our player first, and then we'll go into obviously what the map is. Now, for aSh, fighting from Canada, certainly going to have a little bit of an edge on these snowy maps, given the fact they do live in snow essentially. It's going to be the one, the only aSh's Hit 'em Up. It's their captain, and acting captain today is Yeti for NetWars. Logan has done an incredible job on aSh. His best map is New Electric Circuit. He is an amazing, amazing player. And Mind Flayer, it's a snowy map, so neither of those are snowy, unfortunately. Neither is Ride of the Valkyries. But it's going to be the one, the only. It's a WCG map, if that helps. It's Gorky Island. So we're going to have an island map here in the Christmas Cup number 2. This is a straight up island map. It's going to be a TVP, the perfect, pretty much the perfect matchup to watch on island maps because they kind of suck on them. Gorky Island is an amazing map, ridiculous map. I had to put it in here. Honestly, I was struggling to find 7 ice maps that are actually any good. But obviously I put in stuff like Battle Royale. And the further I went back, the worse the ice maps were getting. And I knew that Gorky Island has a fan base. It's a fun map. Should be a lot of fun to watch games on. And this could be either a very long game or a very short game. Apparently Hit 'em Up is pretty much... he's pretty much like drugged up right now. I think he's a bit ill, so maybe that could come into it. But let's get in. Just let me check the players already, and then we'll get into game number 4. Here we go. Let's get started. Okay, starting us off in the top right-hand position on Gorky Island in the Peach. No, in fact, red versus blue is better for Christmas. It's going to be the one, the only current king of the hill. It's Yeti. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Gorky Island. It's going to be aSh's Hit 'em Up in the wonderful blue, fighting from Canada. Now, Hit 'em Up is going to be hoping he's not going to have a blue Christmas here, despite being in the blue, as that is certainly not a good thing. Yeti, with his 1-0 lead here, well, it's not really a 1-0 lead, it's kind of difficult to explain this, but essentially he's won one game, so he is the king of the hill currently. He's going to be looking to put on the hurt here to aSh, because aSh's roster, while it's very deep, I'm not sure all of them are here, essentially. So is NetWars, so I'm not sure how well this is going to go for either team, but just to zoom out and have a look at Gorky Island, you can see there is no way off of your main base. There is a natural expansion with a gas, but it's also an island. Definitely benefits Terran here because Terran can build a command center and fly it up. But if you forego gas early as Terran, you can really struggle against Reaver play because shuttles are very, very good units. They get units into your base. And one thing Terran don't have is, yes, they have the ability to fly a command center. They are unable to ferry units up without a dropship. So if you don't get a Wraith, you don't get a dropship, or at the very least you don't go for Goliaths, you're going to struggle a lot here. Now, Yeti is going for gas. I believe he actually went for gas first. No, gateway into gas. And MMO has a great point. Yetis perform best in the snow. Expect Yeti to win this one. That is a very, very good point that I completely missed. And Radley's saying mass wraith and mass ghost play map, but where do you get the gas to go mass ghosts or mass wraiths? Like, there's a gas base at the 6 o'clock. There's a base in the middle that I mean, it's got double gas, but how realistically are you going to take this? Like, it's such a hard map to expand on. Now, the funny thing is, there's actually ramps leading off of the middle, which goes all around the bases, so you can actually skip from this base over to the 3 o'clock. And you can also get siege tanks up here and siege your opponent's main, but it's just getting your units down there which is going to be the problem. Now, Hit 'em Up is going for a factory first here. Wouldn't surprise me to see him go for a double factory. Now, much like Future, Logan, Hit 'em Up is one of Future's friends, and he has been playing for a long time. When I asked him out the map pool what map he'd most likely to play, he said Gorky Island, so I get the feeling Hit 'em Up is going to have something prepared for this. He is a little bit ill and he's a little bit drugged up at the moment, so maybe we'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt. It is Christmas, so he may be a little bit jolly, although it's not the case. And Ariador in the chat, obviously the grandfather of Brood War, been playing since essentially my timeline of Ariador is he essentially created Brood War by existing, and then the developers had a feeling, they like felt in the force that they needed to create a game for Ariador to play, and that's what they did. So Ariador started in vanilla. He has seen many games on this map, I believe. Did you participate in I think you participated in WCG, right, Ari? But essentially, yeah, he's been around since the dawn of time, and he's saying go CC first into Goliath tank. And thank you, Manaworld, for the 10-bit cheer, man. Means a lot. Now, it looks like Yeti is going to be going into Reavers here. Very standard play on an island map to open up Shuttle Reaver. We've got a starport coming in here from Yeti, so he's going to go double factory. Goliath drop, most likely. The armory's almost done. And that is going to be an excellent counter to Yeti's build here. So, as much as this is an island map, this could be an incredibly quick game. And Ariador saying he played Gorky Island in WCG 2004. It's kind of crazy. Like, the thing that makes it crazy for me is just think about how many Christmases ago 2004 actually was. It was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, and Ariador still plays this game. He's still a top level foreign player, and he still watches the game as well. It's absolutely fantastic that we're all fans of a game that's so old. It's got such a long history. There's been so many cool maps over the years. And apparently Boxer didn't play in WCG 2004, which I didn't know, so that's kind of cool. Now, Hit 'em Up is patrolling Goliaths because he knows, I mean, with, what's it called, Charon boosters on the way, if he can get some nice missiles off on the Reaver before it gets to his base, he is going to be a very happy man. It'll be like Santa filled his stocking very nicely with a lot of expensive gifts, but we'll have to see how that works out. Now, red versus blue, I'd say this is kind of the present colors, so that's why I'm keeping it red versus blue for this, so it's all good. Yeah, Hyun, I know I'm saying we're old. I can't help it. I'm also old. I'm 30 next year, which is just scary. I'm going to be heading into my 3rd decade alive. How does that make any sense? Oh, here we go. Let's see. Charon boosters aren't done yet. Oh, the Reaver drops down. Can it do? Or can it? Oh, the Goliath's coming in with the dropship. Going to make it very difficult. Is he going to target? Oh, he gets the shuttle. But can the Reaver clean up these Goliaths? I think it can. And then there's going to be a Reaver in his base. He's not going to be able to deal. Oh, nice pickup. That was a hot pickup there on that Goliath. That Goliath's not going to be so lucky, but he is going to be able to clean up this Reaver. And there we go. The Reaver goes down. And he survives without taking too much damage. Now, the important thing for Yeti is he killed a lot of Goliaths. So there's not going to be a Goliath drop on his natural, which is the major scary play on Gorky Island. But he doesn't have a shuttle, so he's not going to be able to get units up. Hit him up, going to be heading around the right-hand side of the map here to try and do that drop on that natural expansion. And oh, there is another shuttle. Yeti immediately rebuilt one. That is super, super important. But as we all know, shuttles are not as strong as dropships. 4 Goliaths beat 2 Dragoons. So as long as Yeti gets in a correct defensive posture, maybe he can make something happen. But wait, where's the shuttle gone? Oh, it's here. Okay, so he's going to be dropping. It's only 3 Goliaths, so that actually helps Yeti. Because two Dragoons should be able to deal with the 3 Goliaths, but he needs to make sure not to lose the shuttle. And look at this! The units are in the main. Oh, the units are in the natural, so he just goes down to the main. He's not going to be able to deal with this very well. And if he tries to drop, the shuttle's going to be target fired. Now, the Goliath's taking out a lot of these probes so far. Oh, the shuttle! It goes down! And this is certainly not a good position, but he's going to be able to take out the dropship, which is super... Oh, no, he's not. The dropship gets away. What a play by Hit 'em Up. He gets a ton of probes there. Yeti is on 3 gateways. He's got his second base now. Now, can he get a forge? Can he get some cannons up? That's going to really, really help in this defense. Oh, that observer is in such a clutch position. Sees both of the factories. Hit 'em Up does have an expansion, but he's going to have to drop his SCVs up there. And there's no attack upgrade coming in yet for these Goliaths, so if we get a forge quickly, I don't think we will. But I mean, if he just gets a forge and some cannons, these dropships are not going to do anything. Now the dropship coming back in, this one does have 4 Goliaths in, I believe, so does need to be careful. The Reaver on the low ground certainly going to help against this. Oh, is he going to get the dropship? No, he doesn't. He's trying to target fire the Goliath. Oh, the Reaver gets 2 of the Goliaths. That's super, super important. And he's going to clean it up without losing a single unit. Nicely done by Yeti there. And that's going to hurt Hit 'em Up because a lot of his play revolves around this drop. Now the shoe is on the other foot. We're going to have Yeti going for a big drop. And this time the Reaver is going to get into the expansion. He's not going to fly up to the Goliaths, luckily, at the top of the base. He is going to come in from behind. He's got his observer in a perfect location. He knows exactly where to avoid and where to come in. And no, he's going to pull back. Is he going to wait for it? Oh, he's going to come in with 2 shuttles at once. That's actually kind of cool. Pylon is done. The natural expansion is very, very heavily mining off of Yeti, so he's in a very good spot. The Hit 'em Up, of course, does have what he... Oh, no, this could be bad. 2 dropships leaving Hit 'em Up space. He only has 2 Goliaths back home to defend. But what does Yeti have in defense? He's got 2 Dragoons. 3 Dragoons. That's it. Where's the other shuttle gone? Oh, he just dropped 2 Dragoons up in his mate, or his natural, so... This is difficult. Here we go. The Reaver going to drop off in the natural. Not going to be able to target fire anything down. But there is no defense in the natural. Look at this. All of the SCVs are going to go down. The Scarab bugging out somehow. But the dropship's coming in at the top middle. He's going into the natural. Luckily enough, there is those units. But they're not going to be enough to defend. It's 8 Goliaths here. And where are the shuttles to bring the additional units in? Both players are going to be trading away the naturals. But no, look at this. The Reaver getting into the main, getting tons of kills. 17 kills. Another 3 as well. Wow. But Yeti looks like he's going to lose his second base. No, here we go. Another 4 Dragoons going to be coming in. No, only 2 Dragoons. He's run out of units up here. Goliaths are doing very, very well against these Dragoons. Nice target firing. But it looks like Yeti is going to be able to defend his natural. The Reaver is still alive here in the shuttle. It's going to... Oh, one more hit on that shuttle and it's dead. But 20 kills. Can he get another massive Scarab? No, great pull. Is going to keep... Oh, gets another kill. But that's a really, really, really cool trade there. Both players losing a ton of workers. Obviously, I think Hit 'em Up was actually a little bit worse off there, as his supply is now 10 lower than his opponent. He's got a 3rd base, though. He flew a command center down to the bottom middle, and this is why in future island maps, they added stuff like neutral minerals just on the bases to make it so you couldn't do this. Because it's very powerful by Terran. But look at this. Yeti is not taking any nonsense. He's gonna unload 4 Dragoons and gonna go down to the 6 o'clock location. And he's gonna be able to block it. And look how many SCVs are now stuck over here. The dropships went back home. They had to try and pick up units. Wait, did he loot? He lost most of his dropships in Yeti's natural, so he can't save these SCVs again. The SCVs are gonna have to run away, and I think the command center could even go down as well. And look at this, Yeti with another shuttle, another 3 shuttles now. Gonna be able to go in and do a ton of damage. Yeti, of course, does have good defense back at home. The more important thing is Hit 'em Up doesn't have many units. Like, the fact he was cut down to 1 gas for quite a while is very, very detrimental because he's playing nothing but Goliaths. Now, tanks are super important on island map play. I know it doesn't seem it, but if you put a tank on the high ground, it defends your main and your natural. Now, he does have a single siege tank coming in. He doesn't have that many dropships though, so he's going to have to play nothing but defensively. Now, interestingly, Hit 'em Up's going to land that rather than just keep it floating, but it does give him the option to add an additional couple of SCVs on if he so chooses to. And Jesse saying this is a stupid map for 1v1, but this is a genuinely really fun map, so that's why I brought it back for this. It's a Christmas map. That's all that counts. It's the Holy Cross if you're Christian. Although it's not, but it's close enough. Okay, so we're going to have a big drop into the middle. Yeti, of course, got a lot of units stuck out here. But, oh no, he's dropped out of the main, and there's going to be 3 shuttles coming in. I don't think Hit 'em Up can defend this. His units are going over to attack. But how does he defend his main? And his natural's going to go down as well. Is this just going to be a massive base trade? Is he just going to try and siege up his opponent's main and try and kill it that way? He's not going to be able to deal with this. He's floating his command center at the very least. I think Hit 'em Up just needs to take everything and go. I mean, Yeti doesn't have any defense either, but Yeti definitely in a better position, I would say, because he's going to have Reavers back at home. He's going to try and hold on with nothing but reinforcements, but I mean, this is kind of crazy. This is definitely volatile, as Eridor said, but this is a lot of fun. A lot of units dropping off into the main now, doing a ton of damage, but Yeti has done a ton of damage as well back at home. The Reaver has been staved off. This single tank is sieged in a perfect location, and there we go. Hit 'em Up gets cleaned up. GG. Hit 'em Up taps out, and Yeti takes a second game on the trot to take NetWars up 3-1. Now that was a very, very fun game. What the hell am I doing? There we go. That was a very, very fun game. Lots of back and forth action. Of course, Yeti with the win in the end. Hit 'em Up to give him a little bit of an excuse. He is a little bit intoxicated with medication, so we'll have to see how that goes. But obviously, that does put NetWars up 3-1. And if they win the next game, that's it. It's series over. I mean, we might just play out the whole series anyway, just because, or if they've got enough players. If they don't, it's up to the players, but it's still not over. aSh still have some very strong players in the roster. I can see that Radley is in chat. Like, when are you coming out, man? That's it. So it looks like aSh are going to be sending out Pro, which is interesting. The next map is Hitchhiker, I believe. Let me just double check. But Hitchhiker is another map that you guys may remember from STPL Season 1. So let's put that up. Then we'll introduce both our players and get into it. So essentially, while this loads up and while we get both of our players in, I will quickly head over to the break and see you guys in just a sec. Okay, we have a ton of Matcherino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matcherino link, it brings up the Matcherino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it will add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie.
Never know what hit 'em.
Nuclear launch detected.
Okay, now starting in the top right hand position, we do have fighting for aSh in the blue. It's Radley. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading in to game number 4. This is match point for NetWars. We're going to be heading into one of my favorite maps from STPL Season 1. It was a pretty cool map. We had a lot of really fun games on it, but let's introduce our player for aSh. Of course, NetWars is going to be Yeti is going to stay on for NetWars again, showing how strong he is in their roster, taking out 2 really strong players on aSh. It's going to be up to Clone Pro here, or Pro, for aSh to come in. What the hell am I looking at? I'm looking at completely the wrong screen. Here we go. You just saw what happens when my overlay goes wrong. But Clone Pro, he hasn't won a game so far, I don't believe. Is Clone Pro? Hit him up. Can you confirm? Because I can't remember. Oh, too many leaks. Okay. Wrong player. Let me just fix this. One sec. Too many leaks. I couldn't remember what his proper name was. There we go. So, wait. Why didn't that update? Ah, there we go. So that should work now. Yeah, too many leaks. So we're going to have our Italian player here for aSh. He's not won a game so far, but he's going to come out here up against Yeti in a PvP. Should be a lot of fun. Let's have a look at the map we're going to be going into. It's going to be, as I said before, Hitchhiker. I know I did answer in chat before, but essentially the racing game in the background is Initial D Arcade Stage 8 Infinity. It is an amazing racing game, and if you've not played the Initial D arcade games, they are all incredibly good, so do it. It's really worth it. If you like Initial D, if you just like arcade racing games, they are by far the best ones. They're not simulations or anything, so don't expect Gran Turismo style or Forza, as the people at E3 always say, or like a Assetto Corsa style physics or anything, but really cool map. It was actually really balanced when we had it in Season 1. It is PvP, we've had 5 of them so far, and Yeti did win against Caspas, but that was a very long time ago. In fact, that was probably July last year, maybe, that we had this map in the map pool. But let's see if both the players are ready, and we can get going with the game. Of course, it is going to be a PvP. A little bit unfortunate we've got another mirror here, but PvP is very fun, especially on this map. And the last time we had a PvP, aSh did win their game. So let's get into game number 4. Yeti on match point here on Hitchhiker. It's going to be a good one. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position. Wait, yeah, the top left-hand position in the blue, fighting for NetWars from Poland. It's the one, the only, it's Yeti. Now Yeti is currently 2-0 up in his games played, which has taken NetWars to a 3-1 lead in this best of 7 Winners League format. game. And Mindflayer saying it's a PvP, but look on the bright side, a Protoss player's gonna lose. Oh man, I actually really love PvP. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, back when I followed Brood War religiously in like 2009 to 2011, I hated PvP. The only time I would watch PvP is if Best, Rain, Paralyze, or Bisu was playing it. Anyone else, I didn't care. Like, I was an SKT fanboy. I love my SKT Protoss players, and since doing the STPL, I've casted so many PvPs, I've actually come to really like it. So, I watch a lot of PvPs these days. They're a lot of fun. And yeah, Yeti, to give you an example of how good Yeti is in PvP, looking at his player history, he has 13 wins, 5 losses against Protoss. That's ridiculous. 13 wins, 5 losses. And Radley saying Pro is a player who won against Draco in Italy back in the day, so definitely a strong PvPer himself. Draco, of course, if you don't know who he was, I know customers you may not know, although he did beat Fantasy once, but I don't know what series or tournament that was in. But essentially, Draco's a really strong really strong Polish Protoss player from back in the old days of Foreign Brood War. And Afrotoss was amazing, Gosevigi. I loved Afrotoss. He never won very much, but he was an awesome guy. What was, I don't know if you know this, Customuse, but what does Paralyze do now? I don't know what his Korean name is, so I can't tell you, but I know he never went to, I think he was in StarCraft 2 for a little bit, and then he retired, and then I never heard about him again, so I guess he's just got like a normal job now, right? Or has he moved to like another esport? Okay, so do we have mirror builds in a mirror matchup? No, we do not. We have 2 gateways coming in for Pro and a core, so it's going to be 2 gate against 1. Yeti has been in this position before and done very well against it. Pro is being very annoying with his probe. I don't know if his name should be Pro or if it should be Probe, because he keeps running in, taking off the shields from Yeti's probes, forcing him to look back at his base, and just making things very difficult for him back at home, so he can't micro his probe at the front. But looks like with this Dragoon coming out, it's going to be a little bit harder. The probe for Pro has gone down. And yeah, Hellgated saying that Draco was the foreign Protoss. I mean, he was easily the best one. Radley pointing out that he went 2-3 against Firebat Hero in the same tournament, which is crazy. Oh, that was in 2017. And also, wasn't that the Zotac Cup where I picked the map pool? No, he wasn't there. He went 1-2 against Lava on the Zotac Cup map pool, which I picked. So if you... I know no one can go back and watch the VODs anymore, but I got Draco that win. I'm just saying, he played on Troy, he played Troy incredibly well, and Troy was in the map pool because of this man right here. I gave him an early Christmas present, gave him a win over Lava, gave him a little bit of extra notoriety. But yeah, of course these aren't, well, this isn't Draco, but it is Yeti, who I would say, other than Bonneth, is the second best Protoss player in Poland for sure. I don't think there's anyone better than him right now. And in the STPL, he's by far the second best Protoss player in Poland. He's better, as a matter of fact, I think he's higher ranked than Bonneth in the STPL. So Yeti is an absolute boss. He took down Bjol in the STPL Season 1 semifinals. He took down... who else has he beaten? I think he beat Scan as well. He's beaten some very high profile players. And when he played against DeWalt, I think it was, on Katrina, he barely lost. So Yeti is an absolute monster when he wants to be. Yeah, and the series against Firebat Hero was in the Italian Open. Unfortunately, I was meant to go and cast that, but I didn't have a passport at the time and I couldn't get one quick enough, so I missed out on casting, so that's why we ended up with Sale and Cadenzi. I miss Sale. Cadenzi did a good job though. I was a little bit sad I couldn't go meet Firebat Hero though, I must admit that was a kick in the face, but I mean look at Yeti, he's hiding a natural expansion up in the top right hand corner. But look how much trouble he's having just trying to send his probes over there. Like, you wouldn't normally expand there, but you can't really expand below because of how close it is through this short little gap to your opponent. And you can't expand here because there's no gas. So, Yeti with that hidden expansion, is it going to come into play? Is it going to be able to get away with it? Most likely, because Pro is he's not very likely to go into that top right location until he gets a Robo. Now, he does have a support bay. There is an observer coming out. Where is the shuttle and the Reaver? Looks like they haven't popped out just yet. But he is going to take his expansion and his natural. And I hope Sale is still alive. Like, I really do hope, because I don't know. I've asked so many different people and nobody actually knows. After the Zotac Cup, he disappeared. Like, I was arguing over the map pool with him the final night of the Zotac Cup, and he just never logged on again. It was like, okay, that's really weird. Now, the first observer is going to be taken out by Yeti from Pro, so nicely done by Yeti there. The Reaver is finally out here now. We don't have a support bay for Yeti. He's going to be going into Citadel, so Templar Tech here going to be quite strong. Looks like Yeti is trying to open a path up to his natural expansion here, but taking down the power generators. Sale is probably just somewhere in London doing a really good job with his actual job, I guess. And nobody knows. I know he was seen logging into Team Liquid like a year after, but he never posted anything, and no one's heard from him since, so I hope he's okay. But he did this before. Like, a lot of people don't remember this, but Sale disappeared for a very long time before he came back in 2016. Because that was just when I started casting, and he came back. Because essentially the foreign scene was pretty much dead at that point. There wasn't really anything going on. There wasn't any tournaments. Like, you had just started up. And Sale came back and did the TL Opens with Team Liquid and did the ESL tournament, but I'm just saying, like, it seems a bit weird how he just left again, but I mean, there was a long period of time where he just didn't cast anything, so I don't know if it's just the same thing happening, or if something, like, maybe he's just quit Brood War, but it just seems weird. Hopefully, there'll be a Christmas miracle and maybe it'll pop up in the chat or something. It'll be like, I'm alive, I'm here, but I'm gonna have to go with the Grinch here and say that that's probably not gonna happen. Unfortunately, I just hope he is okay, because he was a really nice guy. I got on with him really well, and I casted with him a lot, so it's kind of sad that he disappeared. Yeah, Iskra saying, I was waiting for the Christmas Cup #2. Now this second base by Yeti has been running for a very long time, but Pro is still doing a very good job actually keeping his units alive. So okay, that was a really mistimed probe there by Yeti. Oh, the shuttle's going to go up to the top right. Yeti is pulling all of his units over. This has 2 Reavers in. If he gets here and kills all these probes, that's pretty much game. Now the Reaver's going to be focusing down on these Dragoons. One of them does go down. A lot of Dragoons coming in from behind though. And the shuttle is going to be very, very low. He's going to lose his 2 Reavers. Oh, if only he'd gone in at the front there at the same time. That would have been incredible. But Yeti taking a big, big lead there. A lot of that tech is entirely done now. Was there a DT running through the middle of the map? I know it didn't get into his main. Oh, okay, no, he's going to go through the temples. This is a very, very clever move. Look at where Yeti's army's going. He is now going to be pushing forward through the middle of the map. There's a lot of units here to defend by Pro as well. And this is going to be a... Oh, I thought it was going to be a base trade situation, but looks like Yeti doesn't... He's not really decided on what to do yet. A lot of his units are getting stuck on these neutral buildings. But this is the movement. He's going to go through the middle of the map, and Observer does see this. And yeah, Pro is really, really cleverly only killing one of the temples. Going to fall back. I'm going to look to defend here. Now, I thought that was a shuttle, but it was another Observer, so he's going to check for any additional units. Now, this is a ton of army coming in from Yeti, but this is a very, very, very big choke here for Pro. So he's going to be able to defend against these initial units. And now we should see him split up his army. Yeti taking a third base at the mineral only, going to make it very, very difficult for Pro to be able to expand behind this. But as long as Pro secures this location, as long as he gets another couple of Reavers and another shuttle, he should be able to go and deal some massive, massive damage by going through the back of the map. Yeah, Sale is behind the famous jail door of my first apartment. That's why I lived there. I was tasked with jailing Sale. I left because essentially someone else took over. Or maybe Sale is like the ghost of Christmas future. Like, Sale appears to warn the foreign brood war scene that there's only death and decay if they don't change their ways. So he hosts a few tournaments to like bring things back up to speed a little bit because everyone loves Sale, and then he disappears again until the foreign brood war scene gives up. They're like, it's gone, I can't do this, I'm a terrible person, we don't like brood war anymore, and then he'll appear again. Or would that be more like the Ghost of Christmas Past? He comes back and proves to everyone like how good brood war is. Now Yeti's gone through the back as well. All of the probes have been transferred away. Very, very nice moves by Yeti here. Going to keep everything alive. Now Pro needs to make sure to not send all of his units away. He does not... Okay, I thought that was a Pro Observer there, but it's not. He's going to have to go back into his main and defend. He doesn't know this is coming. If those units get into his main, even if they kill this third base, that's a massive, massive problem. Now the third base of Yeti is going to go down, so Yeti is going to be back to one gas. And, I mean, Yeti's going to have... Or Pro's going to have the ability to push forward. Now, here we go. Let's see how he defends this. Is he going to cancel the Nexus? Yes, he is. The units... Oh, the units getting stuck on the ramp. The Templar are in the way. Oh no, this could be a big, big problem. This one single Templar blocking everything from getting back home. Now Yeti, Yeti is going to be a fantastic spot. Oh my god, the High Templar is still stuck there. There we go, it's finally moved out the way. But Yeti is going to get on top of the gateways, and this is a massive, massive moment in this game. Oh my god, a massive storm on the natural mineral line is going to kill tons of probes. And while Yeti did lose the top right base, he is in an incredible position right now. The Reaver goes down once again. The Micro just not there, and there's still a ton of storm energy right now. This is crazy. He's going to be able to storm the final remaining units, and Pro looks like he may fall down here. Yeti has played a blinder of a game here. And it looks like he is not going to get coal for Christmas, as he has done a fantastic job. Just pushing through everything. Another storm on the mineral line. Pro is now down 30 supply. Oh my god, this storm is going to be massive. 11 kills, 12 kills on this High Templar. And Yeti with that blindside maneuver, moving around the back. The single High Templar blocking the mineral line. Or blocking the main ramp even. May have lost Pro the game, and that is an awful situation to lose from. But what an incredibly played game by Yeti. Wow, is all I can say for that. Yeti has now got 3 different attack paths into his opponent's main. GG, Pro taps out, and Yeti takes game number 4. Now, I used the wrong transition, but that's fine. We'll just go back. There we go. That's the power of technology for you. Now, that is technically the end of the series. I don't know if Hit 'em Up has any players that are still willing to play, but if he does want to play out the full best of 7, that would be amazing. It's completely up to him. But Yeti, of course, with the 3 kills, getting the victory over aSh. But let's see if they want to send out another player or if they're going to leave it there. Obviously, it is getting quite late for a lot of Europe, and I know that most of aSh's players are in Europe, so Let's see what they want. It is a Sunday night as well. We've had a fantastic time so far, though. Bradley, do you want to play, man? I want to see your game. It's going to be on El Nino as well, so that should be a good map for you. Lots of droppable locations. It's like Great Barrier Reef, if you remember that from Season 1. But yeah, it should be really, really cool. This is, of course, a show match, but there was a $30 prize pool on the line, which NetWars have just secured. But we'll see an encore game from Radley, I think. It's a shame. Where's Future? Where is old Fute? I'm annoyed. Future should have been here, man. I don't believe it. He's online. I can see him. He's right there on Discord. Well, he was at 8 PM. Maybe he's at work. That's a bad excuse, though. Okay. So, let's host another game. It's going to be Radley versus Yeti. This should be really cool. 2 ex-teammates. They've played a lot with each other. And that sounds very, very dodgy, I realize. But it's fine. Okay, I'm going to host top versus bottom. Hopefully Yeti knows that this is going to happen. Yeah, we get a good return of Radley. It's been a while since he's played in the STPL, so... And that car looks like the Cybertruck. Oh, man. I'll hit it. Wow, Future doesn't listen to you on Discord. That's crazy. I'm gonna moan at him. Wait until he streams again, and I'm gonna moan the hell out of Future here. But AA11 is the game name, Radley. Obviously, you've got to work your way in. So while you load up, I'm gonna quickly go to a very short break, and I'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man. Skibidi on do. Skibidi on do. Skibidi on do. He's the map man. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee da ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Be-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Ba-ba-ba-da-bo.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Coast 103.5.
Did you know it was possible to drop behind the naturals in Fighting Spirit? It's a bit... Okay, we are back, and Radley's just joined the game with an incredible name. So we'll get into the game quite quickly. This is, of course, the kind of encore match. We're not going to see Talcross at the end, most likely, because it is getting a little bit late for those guys. But it's been an incredible series. NetWars, of course, take the series 4-1. But this is going to be Radley's chance to show off his new power. He's been away for a while, training under a waterfall. And we're going to have to see how he's doing. Now, let's actually have a look at his win-loss ratio. He is going to be driving the Hachiroku, the AE86. He's 10 for 10 overall. He's 5 for 3 against Protoss. And just to give you a little bit of insider information, okay, I really have trouble with your name. Is that Producer Unknown again? Yeah, it is. It may have said 103.5. I'm not too sure. But according to Producer Unknown, he makes music for that station. Essentially, that was playing in the cab. I was getting back to the airport, back to LAX, so I wasn't really paying attention when I was in the cab. But yeah, that's that station in LA, so kind of cool. But Radley, a very, very strong Terran player. His best map is Flight Dreamliner. And let's introduce our next and final map here for today. It's going to be the wonderful El Nino. Now, El Nino is essentially the original version of Great Barrier Reef, which was used in Season 1. And it's not an island map. It may look like it is, but it's a very standard map, actually. And it should be kind of cool for both of our Polish players here to fight off against each other. Looking forward to this one. Let's check if they're both ready. And then when they are, we can get into the game. Hey Fabian, good to see you, man. Yep, they're both ready. So let's get into game number 5, I believe. No, game number 6 we're on now. It's Yeti versus Radley on El Nido. Yeah, so Yeti was just double checking they actually won. Oh, but there we go. We're gonna get into game number, what is it called? Oh my god, I'm so bad with numbers. I think this is game number 6. It even said on the set window that I just completely ignored. It is game number 6, so this should be a fun match. It's kind of an encore match. NetWars do win the prize, so they're going to get the $30 for their team. I'm sure they'll meet up and have pizza or something, I don't know. It's not too much money. Oh, as a matter of fact, there was a $15 donation as well, so it'll be $45 going to NetWars. If you want to increase the prize pool for them, even though they've already won, toss a donation through to my PayPal using Streamlabs, and that will go onto the prize pool, and I'll send confirmation in the thread that that's been paid out to them as well. So, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, it's the one, the only, STPL's Ghost King himself, it's Radley. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left, it's the player who's just got 3 kills in a row. It's Yeti fighting for NetWars, also from Poland, in the red. Yeah, Lucky Bears, if you check under the names of the players, you've got the team names, their shirts, as well as, yeah, we've got team shirts in this. This is how cool we are, and the score as well. Lucky Bears, this is kind of an encore match, because essentially they've won the best of 7, but everyone wants to see more games. It is coming up to Christmas, and Radley, the Ghost King himself, is an amazingly fun player to watch. So essentially, they both agreed to play an extra match, just to kind of essentially, this is Radley and Yeti's Christmas present to you guys, essentially. One thing, going back to the discussion before, I know we were talking about what happened to Sale. I'm just hoping he didn't get run over by a reindeer like Grandma did in the song, because that would be quite sad. We don't have many reindeers in this country either, so it'd be kind of hard, but... Oh, nice pick off on this bro by Radley. Nicely done. It's very difficult to do that. And to give you a little bit of inside info, Yeti was worried about playing against Radley. He's like, oh no, Radley's actually really strong. So this could be an incredible game. Now, Radley, if you don't know who he is, he's called Ghost King for a reason in this game. And that is because essentially, he is the kind of player that will do random stuff. Well, not random stuff, but he'll do crazy, crazy stuff. Like, he goes mass Wraith against Protoss, he goes mass Ghost, mass Nuke. He's got the name Ghost King because essentially he keeps going mass Ghost against Protoss, and they lead to some of the most exciting games I've ever casted. And Yeti is a super strong player in PvT. Radley is a super strong player in TVP. And Yeti, I believe, is still the only player in the entire tournament over its 2-year history now, almost, to win with all 3 races in a game. He has won with Terran, he's won with Protoss, and he's won with Zerg. He is a Terran main player, but he did switch to Protoss for a bit, and he did sub in for a Zerg player and won. So, a little bit of history there. But yeah, you will get to see a game. If you did miss the earlier ones, I know you know the score now, but essentially check out the YouTube VOD. It'll go up tomorrow. You can check out the Twitch VOD after the cast. The games have been very, very good. And we've been casting just over 2 hours, which for a single best of 7 is quite impressive. Like, I was a little bit worried that it'd be over within like a couple of hours, but it's a wonderful world here at the STPL. And we did get to see a white Christmas of some wonderful, wonderful games. And I believe, yeah, as Zero said, I think Radley is the only player who's actually used nukes in the STPL so far. So other players have got to catch up. Now, of course, this is a victory for NetWars, but aSh are going to hope it's not going to be their last Christmas here, as they want to get a little bit of pride back in, make it 4-2 to finish. Obviously, we probably won't play the 7th game just because that's kind of a little bit too much of an encore. But if we've got players willing to play, we'll do it. But obviously, it is going to end after... Well, it's already, technically, the series is over with a NetWars win, but... I'm trying to think of a good... Okay, so you guys have seen Elf on a Shelf, but have you seen Nuke in the Protoss base? Because Radley is rushing up to 1 base starport, and it could be possible... Oh no, it's not, it's 2 base. He's expanding after the command center on the high ground. But I reckon we're going to see nukes here from Ghost King, because that's just what Radley does. And that was also an incredibly bad Christmas pun. I had better Christmas puns last year, guys. I had Rapid to bounce off of last year, but Rapid is currently enjoying his holiday season, which is really good to hear. And he's trying to fix his sleeping pattern as well, so that's why he's not been casting as much recently. And that's fairly understandable. He was casting at like 4 AM every day to do STPL, and then he'd cast at like 3 AM every day to do BSL as well, so... Rapid certainly earned a nice break. He has worked very, very hard throughout 2019 to bring you guys lots of Brood War content, and it's time for him to finally get to rest. Now we've got an observatory coming in for Yeti, so Yeti playing this incredibly standard. We're going to have a single wraith here from Ghost King. Is he going to go immediately into a science facility? Because if he is, he's rushing ghosts. But I think he's just going to play this relatively standard to start off with, just to make sure he doesn't die early on. Now, if you do want to support this prize pool specifically, you can donate using the Streamlab button below. That'll increase the amount of money going to NetWars. Currently, they're going to get $45. Any additional money donated in this stream will go to them as well. Obviously, now you know who you're donating to, so it's not like it's kind of like I'm opening up a donation appeal to donate more to NetWars. So if you want to donate to NetWars, this is how you do it. If you want to support the main tournament's prize pool, which is still ongoing, Season 2, sponsored by the wonderful Liquipedia, giving us $500 towards the initial prize pool, and very shortly we're going to be having a bracket contest from them as well. Then you can donate, well, to support Liquipedia, go and use Liquipedia. It started with Brood War, and Brood War is certainly not going to end without Liquipedia, so Liquipedia, great resource, use it the best you can. Our other sponsor, Matrino, has given us 200 50-cent codes. I know for sure we haven't used all of them, so slam that Matrino link in the chat, use the code LSTPL, and add 50 cents to the prize pool, completely free. It doesn't cost you a penny or a cent, I guess if you're American, or whatever your currency is. It doesn't cost you anything, so just slam that code in. Obviously, if you've used it before, thank you. And you can also support the STPL via Patreon. That will support me and the STPL directly. I do spend a lot of time doing STPL content outside of work. It's kind of my second job. I don't make much from it whatsoever, which I'm perfectly fine with. I do it because I love doing it. But if you do want to help me make this more a permanent thing, support via Patreon. There's a goal up. If I can make, I think it's $1,200 a month, I can cut a day off of my full-time job and take this more full-time, which is something I eventually want to do. Just because I enjoy making Brood War content, I enjoy making all the stupid meme videos I make, and I hope you guys enjoy the content as well. Yeti taking a third base down here, or fourth base down here in the bottom right, playing very, very greedy, stealing the other main base here. Now, Yeti does know Radley very, very well. Radley is a very, very, very slow and steady player. Radley gonna secure his own third base over here in the top Right. And where did he scan? Okay, so he didn't scan the other main, which is something. And Will... Okay, I am really struggling to see your name. Is it Wilsey? Yeah, it's Wilsey. Wilsey, yet he said before the game that he was actually worried about playing against Radley. Pebble, the problem is, and this is why I'm probably going to do another Christmas Cup thing before the end of Christmas, which is 4th of January. I took a load of Christmassy videos and I have not had a chance to actually render them or anything. So there was a lot of break videos I wanted to use which had Christmas theming, and I just didn't get to do it. So watch this space. Maybe we'll have another Christmas Cup, best of 7. Maybe we'll see if White can play against Seoul. Obviously, if we get them, we'll have to do it a little bit earlier because they can't play at 3 AM. So you never know. We may get another fantastic matchup coming up. We've had a great matchup between aSh and NetWars. But we'll have to obviously see. I'll try and arrange it. But we've got some other stuff arranged for the new year as well as the normal STPL season. So looks like Radley is going to go mass race for now. Wraiths are very, very good at dealing with... well, I guess not really mass wraiths. He's going for 2 wraiths. It's good for dealing with shuttles. It's good for killing killing observers. And Attila Catilla. This map is a Kesper map. It was used in 2009. Let me double check. I've got this written down. It says it in my overlay. It was used in the 2009 to 2010 ever on-game Net Star League. It was then replaced in the subsequent season with the same map on a different tile set because people complained about the snow, and it was renamed Great Barrier Reef. It's a really, really fun map. We've seen a lot of really good games on Great Barrier Reef in STPL Season 1. I brought it back here because it's a nice world map on a Christmas theme. So the final map that we're likely not going to see, but would have been the Ace map was Talcross. But everyone's seen plenty of games on Talcross. We had Gorky Island, we had Battle Rail. Oh no! Oh, that's a perfect play by Yeti, finding those dropships. And that really does make this harder for Radley because he's going to be unable to break through this. Now, the Wraiths are going to do a pretty good job, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to kill too much. Now, the probes, oh my god, if he gets a siege tank shot on all these probes, that would be crazy. But unfortunately, the drop was cleaned up, didn't do nearly as much damage as it could do. But we had Radley coming in with some mines down the bottom, not doing too much. But, ooh, nice mine on top of the tank there. A nice deep matrix. Nicely done. But unfortunately, I mean, Radley just took a ton of damage from that. Now, there is a ton of vultures moving out on the map. Yeti's certainly a strong player, but Radley is not one to give up easily. He is very much a never surrender, or never give up, never surrender player. And he is very crafty with his units. So, Yeti, of course, his mining was disrupted at that 4th base for a while. Both of their minerals and gas going up quite high, and that's because they're spending a lot of money, they're spending a lot of, I guess technically, like, your APM is a currency in Brood War because your mine space and what you're looking at is very limiting. So, because they're both microing super hard, like, their macros slipped a little bit. Now, Radley, he's starting to queue up on his factories most likely to cut that down. He does have an additional starport coming in, and he is going mass wraith, so we are going to see this wonderful TVP mass wraith style, and that should be cool because mass wraith style owns arbors. Like, it's really hard. Now, looks like there are a good number of tanks. It's a little bit of a risky time to push in, but nice D-Matrix at the front. Not really enough vultures over here though, and oh, this could be devastating for Radley. He's going to lose all of his tanks up here at the front. And this could very well lose him the game, actually. But Radley does have an additional 2 bases. One of them doesn't have gas, but that's not the end of the world for him. And he is going to be able to defend back here with some tanks on the high ground. But that's certainly not a position he wanted to be in. Now, is it going to be a covert ops? Yes, it is. Radley, once again, giving the people what they want. If you didn't have this on your Christmas list this year, you should have done, because ghosts are amazing. And yeah, this is certainly a bad position for Radley to be in, but I've seen him come back from worse. So I definitely think he still has a chance. If he gets a ghost off, if he gets a nuke down. Is he building a nuke silo anywhere? Not just yet. Now there is going to be Dragoons coming over here to deny mining at this 3 o'clock base. And he could Arbiter down here. Where are the Wraiths? Okay, the Wraiths are in the main base for now, so he's definitely going to need to defend this base with something, and the trouble is, he doesn't have that many units over here, so unfortunately, this base is going to be a goner. He can't really do too much, and it's cancelled the nuclear silo, so he's going to have to kill one of his comsats if he wants to get a nuke. Now, he's going to have... This will be Vessel Energy, most likely, and he's likely going to go for Ghost Energy first. Now, there is going to be an Arbiter coming into this third base here of Radley. This recall is going to be massive here. Look at this. And there we go, straight into the third base. Radley needs this to live. The Yeti Radley coming in with a ton of vultures, getting a ton of probes here at the third base. That's all of the probes of the mineral only going down. And if he can get down here to the bottom right and get some more damage done, maybe this evens out a little bit, but he's so far down in supply. Now this Arbiter is of course out of energy. These units are going to be trapped down here for the time being, but he's going to be able to take out both of these command centers. And that's not really a position Radley wants to be in. Now, he does have the race coming out here. They're going to be able to take down the Arbiter. That's not something you see every day. But Radley scanning ahead, seeing if he can find where the rest of the Protoss units are. And he's going to look to try and do some damage. Now, oh, I thought there was going to be another Arbiter coming in for recall. But look at this. Radley coming in with another ton of... oh, he's going to come in with a race as well to help clean these cannons up. And this is a really good play by Radley. He's going to be able to get a ton of damage done. Two-hour Protoss player here. Wraiths actually do surprisingly well against cannons. Look how quickly this goes down. But the trouble is, despite the amount of probes he's killing, he has no third base, and it's going to be so hard to re-expand. Oh, the mine's going down though on the units. Wait, there's no observer here. He's if he gets the Arbiter, this would be massive. He needs to go back. He needs to target the Arbiter down, but he thinks there's an observer on the way. No, now he's found out there isn't, and there we go. The Arbiter's going to go down with nearly full energy. Now the Vultures on the high ground have done a pretty good job against the Protoss player here. I don't believe there's another Arbiter, so these units are entirely useless. And Bradley's going to try and expand to the top left here. You can actually defend this with some tanks on the high ground, but it's going to be difficult. Now, the Wraiths coming into the main base here, going to try and take down these cannons, block any form of detection here. Now, a nice Wraith macro here by Radley, getting a lot of additional probes. But he's going to have to peace out there fairly soon. There we go. He's going to get away. He did lose a few of them, but he's still up to 5 Wraiths, so not too bad. Immediately cancels his cloak. Very, very nicely done. Now I see Avi turned up in chat. Nice to see you, man. Unfortunately, you missed most of it, but there have been some pretty good games. Now... looks like we are going to have more Vultures coming down here to the bottom right. Unfortunately, the Wraiths are not there to snipe the Observer, but if they were, that'd be amazing. Now, a lot of units being transferred up to the top left. There is an Observer flying over the Wraiths. Can he scan this in time? Looks like he's not going to see it. Oh, no! Oh! Oh, no, Radley's going to miss the... Wait, he must have seen that, surely. A little bit of a late reaction. He was trying to move everything else, and here we go. Another... Oh, I missed where the units were. Oh, a couple of mines going off on the units. That's going to help them out a little bit defending-wise. But there's no stasis available for the ramp, so that is one benefit. There is... Oh... Wait, there's an Observer here. Oh, no, the Observer... Ah, there we go. He gets the Observer, so the Wraith should help clean this up. It's going to be quite difficult. I mean, this didn't do that much damage, but here we go. Another... Oh, my God, that's a massive recall. But he's going to get all of the... Oh, the stasis! No, he doesn't get a stasis! And yet he's going to throw away most of his army here and not get that much damage done! Oh my goodness. What a defense by Radley. He's kind of evened up the supply. And there was a lot of vultures down here that have gone down, but the third base of Radley is going to be in trouble here. There's another Arbiter. Doesn't have enough for a stasis just yet, but there is no units here to defend. The Wraiths are going to be able to fly over, but they don't have that much energy. So it looks like Radley's going to give up this position again. The units over here in the top right causing a lot of trouble for Radley. And yet he's still with an outstanding lead, but look at his economy. He doesn't have that many probes anymore. His bases are starting to mine out. Radley is not looking in a terrible position. I mean, he is very beaten. He's in a lot of trouble. Let's not get it twisted, as Rapid would say. But he's not down and out just yet. He has... Oh my god, if he gets this... If he gets the Arbiter, that'd be so good, but he's not going to be able to get it. Oh, losing the race is a massive, massive deal. Now, did he ever get lockdown? That is the question. Like, he doesn't have a ghost, I don't believe. Oh, yes, he does. Okay, so he's got enough energy for lockdown. Oh, but no, another... Oh, okay, so the Arbiter goes down. Here come the lockdowns. 2 lockdowns on that ghost. Nicely done. That's going to help him defend a little bit, but... Oh, another lockdown. I love lockdown as a spell. It's so cool. They're so hard to use, though. That's why they don't really see much play. And he's going to be able to defend. Those lockdowns really did help. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on in the map. Looks like Yeti is trying to transfer some probes down to the bottom middle. There's a few tanks, not many, going over to try and help defend or stop this. The units in the main base have been cleaned up. There is more ghosts on the way. Wait, Yeti doesn't have any army down here to defend this. Is he going to get the base? No, there's no way he gets this base, right? No way, but he could get all the probes. Okay, let's see if these... Oh, that's a big move. These tanks have got so many kills. And yet he's worried because he doesn't know where the mines are. Okay, he finally has an observer up here, so he is going to be able to push down. Radley has taken yet another side base. The tanks taken out all of the cannons. They're not going to survive much longer, I don't think, but at least he can try and trade away some of his army for some of Yeti's. He's mined out in his main. Well, he's not mined out in his main yet, but he's almost mined out. Mined out in his natural. His third base, he still can't expand over to the right-hand side due to the trapped units from Protoss. And he's going to try and distance mine at least a little bit from the top left base while he lands his command center back over there. Now, is there any additional ghosts out here? I'm not too sure. I don't believe he ever got nuke silo. I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He doesn't really have the money to do it anymore. Now, here's a ghost. Let's see if it can get locked down. I don't think it's going to be able to. Yes, it is. He can lock down one of the observers. Oh, he's going to come in and snipe the other one. Oh, stasis field on the Wraiths. How often do you get to see that, guys? GG, well played. Radley taps out. The Ghost King has fallen. And Yeti has usurped the throne. Okay, guys, well, that was a fantastic series. Yeti, of course, getting 4 kills in the end against aSh. I didn't think, like, I knew Yeti was good, but I didn't think he was Winners League 4 kills in a row good. And I don't mean that badly, it's because aSh's roster are so strong. I thought they'd have a better chance, but unfortunately, I mean, it doesn't really matter because we had 6 amazing games. And it was really, really awesome to get to see them. So let's actually have a look at the results. I'm going to thank all the players for playing in game because they're still there. And yeah, so let's have a look at the results screen. And let's see how that all played out. So, Mr. Zero won game number 1. He beat Dreamer there. Squall took game number 2. He took down Zero. Yeti took down Squall to become King of the Hill. Then he hit him up on Gorky Island. He beat Pro on Hitchhiker. And then to finish us off on the Encore match, he did beat Radley on El Nino as well. So really, really well done by NetWars. Of course, they got their initial win from game number 1. Yeti with the additional 4 kills afterwards, so that's kind of crazy. Thank you so much for all of our players for playing. Of course, thank you to you wonderful people who have tuned in chat. Thank you so much to Liquipedia for the sponsorship for the STPL. STPL Season 2 is back tomorrow for our final game before Christmas, and then I'll be back after Christmas as well. But if you want to support the STPL, you can support us through Maturino. If you want to add any money to the prize pool for NetWars, they're currently going to win $45. You can donate the money through Streamlabs, and that'll go straight to them. I need to speak to Ziggy to find out who to actually pay it to, but that'll be paid out tomorrow. So you can add prize money directly to the Christmas Cup number 2 if you want to. And essentially, thank you, of course, to all our patrons. If you do want to support on Patreon, it would be an absolutely fantastic thing you could do to help support myself and the STPL. And of course, the best way to support if you can't afford anything is to clip things, retweet, sub on YouTube, and just overall keep watching, because it's all you guys that keep me going. Because if you guys weren't watching, I don't think I would have been able to get through a 15-month first season and currently a 9 out of 14 week second season. So thank you so much to all of you. Hope you have, well, I won't wish you a good Christmas yet, because I am back tomorrow, but see you guys tomorrow for STPL. Once again, let me double check who is going to be playing. I believe Naz versus Soul are going to be on the ticket. That should be an incredible game, and Sai versus Bull as well. So we'll start with Sai versus Bull, then head into Naz versus Soul, and see you guys tomorrow. Have a very good evening. If you don't tune in tomorrow, have a wonderful Christmas, and I'll see you again between Christmas and the New Year. So don't go anywhere. Have a very